In order to go ahead and run the code, there is a few things that you need to set up. Okay, so we're gonna go with the basics camera code. Now, the first thing that you do, you see this is the board that we're going to use. You need to verify that the pin connection are exactly the same as on this board. So what you do is you're going to lift up this camera. Okay, I'm going to show you another picture where you're gonna see what is underneath this camera modules. So this is what you get underneath the camera. There's pins, what's like, so this is what you see behind the camera, underneath the camera. So this is what you get. Then you're going to replace the same value into the code. Okay, so you will start from here, and then remember here we start with y0, but in our case we start with y2. So you can just map y0 and y2, y1 and y3, all the way down y7 to y9. Okay, and then also you're going to set up this CIO data clock. You're going to set them up there. You will find them here. Okay, so then you're going to replace this with what you see here, and then just make sure the pins are correct. As you can see, for y9 we have 39, so y7 we have 39. See the number at the end. Okay, y0, if you check for y0, y0 is y2. In our case it's 5, so you're going to look for 5. You're gonna put 5 that side all the way down, just make sure. And let's go with VS, Y and C. It's actually 27, so you can see this is actually on 27. So once you're done with this, then you go to then there's also one thing to do is you need to comment out this line that you see here. You need to comment it out here, and you do the same. You're going to come to this code, you're going to comment out this line. Okay, so then you can run your first camera. And now there is a few things that you need to know. Okay, so what do we, if it's your first time running a TIGO camera, there's a few things that you need to set up for you to start. First, you go to board manager. This board manager. You go ahead and download the ESP32 by Espressif. You see this version 3.3.3 version. You install this one. Okay, and then once you're done installing the ESP32, you can go to example. I'm going to show you one example. You go to ESP32, then you go to camera. You take this first project CameraWebServer. Okay, it's going to pop up. I'm just showing you how you can go if you have to start over, but make sure that you got the Arduino IDE installed. So this is what you're gonna do, install inside the Arduino IDE. When you have something like this, the first thing that you will do, you will go ahead and comment out this line. You go inside this library, you're going to comment out this line inside this library and save. You go back to this one also, you comment out this line, and then you're going to copy and paste what you see here, and then you just gonna copy and paste this line starting from yeah, you can actually take everything, you just copy and paste it and put it anywhere where you want it to be. You can just after the include statements, the type where it is. Now you're going just to insert this, and then when you're done, you're going to check for pins numbers as I showed you on that image. It's actually underneath the camera. So when you lift up the camera, this is what you're gonna get, these values. this information. So you're going to copy this information and just put them here. Okay, so that is what we just did. Okay, now there is one thing that you need to do in order for you to run the code. You need to go and config. We're going for this example, we're going to stick to the ESP32 Dev Modules board. Okay, let me make it much bigger. So we're gonna go with the ESP32 Dev Modules. You go to Tool, ESP32 Dev Modules. You for the port I'll show you now later on how you can go ahead. So for this information, you need to move to core 0. Okay, you're going to run this program into core 0. Okay, you can keep the rest, and this one has to be KIO. Then this one has to be core 0, and then you go to this one, huge app. You're just gonna select huge app for partition scheme, and then for the PSRAM, you're going to enable the PSRAM, and then for the PSRAM, you're going to enable it. As you can see, the baud rate, you can change it to one that you have on the code. And for my case, I'm going to select this one, and this is basically what you need to set up. And for the port, we're going to look out how you can know for sure where is your port. And what you see here, the baud rate upload speed that you want to your system or your code to be uploaded, you can actually open it when you click on the second monitor here when you're inside your Arduino IDE, and then you select a number. You see the exact baud rate that I'm using. This baud rate, it's exactly the same as the one I have on my PC. This is the baud rate I'm using, for instance. Okay, and make sure that when you hotspot your Wi-Fi network, you use this credential. So this is like you can create this username and password. And when you do this, you need to set them up on your PC. If you're using a PC, if you're using a rider, if you're using you just need to hotspot. If you're using a mobile phone, you just need to hotspot. So then the ESP32 can connect to your devices. So then you can get access to the website, the web server running inside this ESP32, so you can see the image. Now, we'll do this after this section. So let me just go and show you the other thing that you need in order to run this code. You go to Preferences. This is for normal ESP32. You go to Preferences. You go to File Preferences. You go to Additional Board Manager. Here, you just copy and paste the URL that you see here. It's best if you use the two URLs, so then you can run even the normal ESP32 board. So for the packages, once you have selected them and click OK, it's going to download the packages for ESP32. Okay, and now we have you need to set your Wi-Fi network. You're going to open your PC, go under settings. You need to open your PC, go under settings. You see, like in my case, this is setting. You go under network and internet. Then you're going to open your ESP32 based on your network that you have hotspot. So this is, for example, mine, and I have hotspot, and this is when the ESP connect. It's going to connect. So this is what you're gonna get the IP address for the ESP. This is what you're gonna use to visualize the website running, the web server running inside the ESP32. Okay, so before you go to that, we need to run this code. It's like a simple code that you can run. You can also check for libraries. We don't need to import these libraries because they're already. This is where you're gonna find the libraries. Just to give you an example, you can copy, but you're not gonna find this library that it's already pre-built. No, you're not gonna need this library to install it. But otherwise, when we're gonna move to the next code, you'll be asked to install some of the libraries that we get. Now, before you run this code, since I was going to tell you how we were able to define the port, you need to go to device manager into your PC. If you go device manager, in my case, this is device manager. Okay. And you go under port, then you're going to look for the ESP32. Now, there is one thing. If you're using a ESP micro to USB cable, you'll be required to install the silicon driver. I'll show you where you can get a silicon driver. And for you to get the silicon driver, you look for this driver CP120 or drivers for Windows. If you're using Windows, you're going to download it. You click on the first link, user to UART bridge. Okay, so in order your USB, so the microcontroller use a UART port. So you need to connect, since we're using a USB connected to the UART port, so that's why we need this program. So you go straight to download. You're going to download this one, CP210 Windows driver, the silicon driver. And this one's going to help you whenever you work with ESP32 board. Okay, so I'm going to open this file so then you can see what is actually inside. This is what we have inside this file. Then you're gonna go ahead and install this driver. And you can, if you don't want, you can just export everything. And you can see exactly what is inside the file. So you're gonna go ahead and install this driver. Just double click on it. Based on our current system, you go with the 64 version. So that's one. You just click on it and install it. Once you're done, you will be able to, you should be able to see your USB port whenever you connect or disconnect your USB. So let me just disconnect. You see this one silicon. This is where I have my TIGO ESP-CAM connected. I'm going to remove it. Okay. You see what's happening. So there's no more, the ESP is no longer connected. And then I'm going to connect it back. You can see this is the Silicon Labs ESP, and then you see the COM3. That's what I was saying. This is COM3, and then that's why I know it's COM3. I'm going to select it here. This is COM3. This is COM3, and then from there I can run the code. Yes, this is how you first set up your IDE. You need the silicon driver if it's the bridge from USB to UART if it's your first time. But if it's not your first time running a ESP32 board, you can just go ahead and just set up a pins and set up this section, and then you just run the code. Okay, so this is what you need, and don't forget to download the ESP board. You click on install, and for this project purposes, you just go with the 3.3 version. Okay, so now we're going just to wait for the compile section, the compiling stage to complete. Okay, and you can see this is what we're getting when the system is successful compiling. Now the code has been will be uploaded to the ESP board. So we just wait until it gets to 100%. Depending on how large your code is, but the speed, it's going to affect the speed that you have to upload the code. Okay, this is good. Now this is what we're getting on our system. So I'm going just to press reset so we can restart it. This is what you're getting. And this is the IP address to where we can visualize our ESP or our camera. Otherwise, if you don't want this, you can just go to this section. You will see this IP address. We're going to copy this IP address, and from here we should be able to see the camera. Okay, so that's what you're going to need. It's the same as the one that you're getting. You connect to this IP ESP32 UART, so that you should be able to see the website web server. Okay, go to any browser. Make sure you are connected to the same network, and then you can run this IP. So this is the ESP32, and we're going just to run it, okay, for the first time. And then if you have to click on streaming, you should be able to see. Let's try just by pressing streaming. You should be able to see screen. Let me change the quality of the screen to maybe yeah, this one is fine. So I'm going just to record. This is when I'm moving the ESP32 camera around the house. Okay, so it's actually working. This is the camera running of our ESP32. I can even show you another project if I go see camera from the ESP. And this is when I was referring to the flashing LED. Yeah, there we go. Now we're going just to modify this code, and instead of running the web server here, we're going to embed this web server camera. We're going to embed it into our code. Okay, so just to display other content next to this camera. That's what we're gonna do now. And before I switch to another topic, I'm going just to show you the complete code that we have. We got here. Let me just hide the output section. This is like the code that we have. And remember that we have added this section and commented out this include code config. And then this is the actual code. You'll find it on the repository. I'm going to link it up. And then when you go to the libraries, remember we commented out this line just to make sure that it's works. Yeah. So with this, you don't need to modify anything else here. And we actually don't need this code. You will find it will be included. Okay, we didn't do anything. This code, we didn't touch this code, and we didn't touch the code. The only code that we modified was this CameraWebServer, and also commented out this line. That's all. Okay,